Hello and welcome back to Man v Film. It's time to start a new box set with the World Noir Volume 1 set. One that I was eager to check out. Now I'm a fan of noir films. I've seen some from other countries, but the majority have been American noir, and I was very interested about checking out some of these titles. Number 33 in the Radiance range is I Am Waiting, which was again another one of those movies I knew nothing about. 91 minutes, and it packs a hell of a lot into it, which I just absolutely adored this film. There's no other way to say it. It was just wonderful from start to finish. At the beginning of this, we meet Joji, a man who is working in a restaurant, who owns it, who's been patiently waiting to hear from his brother who left almost a year ago to go and buy a farm in Brazil, and then is going to send for him at some point, and he's going to join up with his family, have a wonderful rest of his life. He is a boxer that has shied away from society after getting in a bar fight and killing someone, and he just has removed himself from society and is just kind of eking by on his life until he can get away and almost start again. One night when he's out a walk, he meets Saiko, a young woman who's similarly at her ends of...
僕と一緒にいらっしゃい。何、心配することないよ。とにかく体を温めるんだ。それから何をするか、どこへ行くか、それを決めるんだよ。
She's struggling to deal with everything that's going on. He takes her back to his business, gives her a place to stay, slowly starts to see her coming out of her shell throughout the film. And for the first third of the film, it feels very languid and barren almost. We just have these two characters just doing day-to-day tasks and slowly warming to each other, just becoming comfortable in their company and not really worrying too much about the outside world or the grander things that were weighing them down at the start.
とにかくどくんだよ。
貴様こそ余計なことするな。どけ。どけ。
Everything takes a turn though when a gangster rolls up looking for Seiko and wants her to come back to finish off her contract of singing in a lounge. But there's an implication that there is more than just singing that's expected of her at this lounge, and Joji also finds out at the same time that his brother never made it to Brazil, that something happened to him before he left. And it becomes an almost mystery movie as we watch Joji come to terms with he maybe feeling something for Seiko and wanting to help her, and definitely trying to figure out what happened to his brother. And it becomes this big mystery movie that just falls into a typical noir story, but it's absolutely wonderful.
あの柱の陰に立ってる男が持っているナイフについてメダルの裏が見たいんだ。それが分かれば。
It's one of those ones where you can kind of guess a few steps ahead of the character, but you're so bought into the character, his life, his tale, that you're with him on his journey. You understand that he is going to have some ups and downs, some real emotional moments to be found out here as he struggles to deal with what happened. And throughout most of the movie you see him as a calm, controlled character, but you always feel as if there's this bubbling tenacity underneath of when something needs to be done, he will definitely stand up to do it.
てめえが殴り殺したド素人とはわけが違うんだ。
それが分かったらなおさら結構だ。あら左手だ。貴様のために右手が空いてたのかもしれない。
The kind of love interest with Seiko is wonderful because these two characters, like I said, feel damaged and feel interesting together. It's a wonderful kind of relationship where they both kind of need each other just to break the confines of the rest of the world, which has weighed them down. There is a whole element of a club and gangsters, which becomes really fun later on as we see our characters interacting with them, which I don't want to get to the last half of the movie because this is something that really needs to be seen. It's a spectacle to be enjoyed and has something for almost everybody. There is something really interesting about this noir film by way of a drama which works incredibly well. They build up characters to start with and then start dripping in, drip feeding a story which is highly addictive and just full of twists and turns. It looks terrific. It has these kind of haunting, stark images at the start. It gets to more crazed images later on, and as the things get more chaotic for one of our characters, which is wonderful just to see that kind of directing touch, and everything about it just screamed fantastic to me. There was something so engaging and so interesting about this one. You know, a girl in trouble, a washed up boxer come together to discover they kind of need each other in their life, and they're perfectly matched, but through the prism of a film noir with murder, death and deceit. This is so good. It's such a great movie and a wonderful start to this world noir set. If the other two movies live up to this, this is a standout release of the year. As it stands, it may be one of my favourite titles Radiance have released. Utterly captivating with terrific characters and an amazing story. Here we are in the disc for I Am Waiting. Let's go to the special features. We have an audio commentary by Jasper Sharp, Yujiro in Europe, a documentary produced by Nikatsu Studios on star Yujiro Ishihara during location shooting in Europe in 1959. This runs at 41 minutes 20 seconds and is almost like a travelogue, as we kind of see our main character in shots now and again going through various sites throughout Europe, various places. It's a strange oddity. It's very captivating, and the transfer is actually really quite good in this as well, considering the age of it. It's the colours really kind of pop. It's interesting viewing of these locations at that time. Next up we have The Yujiro Effect. This is a new visual essay by Mark Schilling looking at the monumental impact Yujiro Ishihara had on Japanese pop culture. And this was great because I didn't really know too much about the actor myself. It's 12 minutes 48 seconds, kind of tracks his rise and how influential he was in Japanese cinema, which is great. It was very informative and kind of gave me a few films to look out for, to search out and try and see of this guy. And that's the extras for I Am Waiting. Do yourself a favour and get a hold of this film if you can and check it out. I would love to know your thoughts on I Am Waiting. Let me know in the comment box below whether you loved it, hated it, fell somewhere in the middle. As always, there is more content up here. You can see more of my stuff if you're interested. In the description box below are links to Patreon, membership programme and manvfilm.com. Always in which you can support me. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.